Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, of Ruel, peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Shalom and above all. Back at it with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmel Shai. Lord willing, this video is edifying. And I want to touch on building your own personal relationship with the Lord. All right, in this truth, you be amongst the brotherhood, and you deal amongst the brotherhood a certain way, of course, uprightly. You want to make sure that you're treating brothers like you would treat Yahweh Shai. You make sure that you're not offending brothers. But outside of being around the brothers, when you're by yourself, how do you treat the Lord? What's your relationship like with the Lord? Because you got a lot of Jake where, they rather having a mediator, we have one mediator, which is our Lord Yahweh Shai. But having a mediator is easy, so to speak. But it's a harder thing to seek the Lord for yourself, so to speak. Hey, brother, pray for me. You know what I'm saying? Or pray to the Lord for me. There's nothing wrong with asking a brother to pray for you. I don't want to put that out there. But you should have that relationship with Yahweh Bashmel Shai personally, to whereas you know that you could go to the Lord and talk to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And you have that confidence and that boldness to stand before the throne in the spirit and to ask supplication of Yahweh Bashmel Shai, make your request known unto him. Why? Because you have that confidence, because you have that fear towards him, and that fear is what helps you make you draw nigh towards him. That's what helps you get closer to his spirit and build up that personal relationship with Yahweh Bashmel Shai. Because ultimately, the best way to build up that personal relationship with Yahweh Bashmel Shai is to fear him. The scriptures say fear is the beginning of wisdom. All right, and the scriptures also say how the Lord loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. And to whomsoever she entereth, the Lord will bless, roughly paraphrasing. So, you want to make sure that you are building up that personal relationship with Yahweh Bashmel Shai, because at the end of the day, we all have to give an account for what we did, not for what the next brother did, or whoever. All right, we're going to have to give account for what we've done, the best we've been. Okay? And you want that pardon, you want that mercy of the Lord. All right, and having a personal relationship with Yahweh Bashmel Shai is going to help you, all right, especially in moments of solitude, because you're not going to always be around a brother, man. You're not going to always be able to piggyback off of another brother. You got to have that own personal relationship with the Lord. Let's get this precept. It's Philippians 2:12. It says, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That's right. You got to work at your own salvation. Because what you might deem is all right, another brother might not deem it that way. It might be different for another brother. We each have our own portion and lot in the faith. So you got to figure out what's profitable for your spirit when it comes to serving the Lord. And that's going back to having your own personal relationship with Yahweh Bashmel Shai. All right, because certain things Yahweh Bashmel Shai might suffer of you because, he knows your portion in the spirit. But for another brother, it might not be so. You see? So you got to figure out what's profitable for your spirit when it comes to having that personal relationship with Yahweh Bashmel Shai. It's kind of like with men and women, you like certain women for certain things that you might not like on another woman, but when it comes to that specific woman, you like it on her. It's nothing. It really just depends on the individual at the end of the day. One brother might not like to drink. Another brother might like to drink. Well, at the end of the day, both of those brothers got to figure out what's profitable for their spirit when it comes to serving the Lord. So at the end of the day, we all got to work out our own salvation, man. Okay, and the greatest aspect of working out your own salvation is fearing the Lord. When you fear the Lord, man, everything else falls into place because you do that which is pleasing in His sight. And everything else falls right into place. So like it says, not in my presence only, meaning when you're not just serving Yahweh Shem Shai when the brothers is around, but it says much more in my absence, man. So you got to go even harder when you're by yourself. You got to have that personal relationship with Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay? This is Philippians 2 and verse 13. It says, for it is the Most High which worketh in you to will and to do of His good pleasure. That's right. The Lord has given us the Spirit to do His will and do His work, man. And another thing that helps building up a personal relationship with Yahweh Shem Shai is prayer. Okay? Praying, man. Praying helps tremendously when it comes to building up that personal relationship with the Lord. Because when you're praying, you're making your own personal supplications, that's you and Yahweh Shem Shai being intimate on a one-on-one level, so to speak. You know? You're coming on your behalf. So that's personal. And the Lord, He knows what we need. We, Lord willing, we be those men. We are His servants. He knows exactly what we need before we even ask Him. But the fact that, we still have that confidence and that comfort to know that we can come to the Lord and trust in Him and rely on Him, man. Because that's ultimately what the Lord wants. The Lord wants you to understand that He is the one providing for you. He is the one He wants you to rely on. Not Esau, not another brother. All right, even though there's nothing wrong with, receiving aid from the brethren. Okay, but that shouldn't be your priority. Your priority should be to receive aid from Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay? Because the scriptures say, curses he that trusteth in man. So that right there goes to show you that if you trust in man, then you don't have that relationship with the Lord. You got to trust in Yahweh Shem Shai. You got to put your strength in Yahweh Shem Shai. And like I said, I'll say it again. Nothing wrong with linking up with brothers, receiving help from brothers. Asking brothers to help you with something. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't constantly put your trust in a brother. Because a brother might not always be there for you. Not because he doesn't want to be there, but the Lord might have it set up for where you got to go through it by yourself. We're all going to have our own Garden of Gethsemane moment. Like Yahweh Shai, when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, he wanted the disciples to stay up with him and watch. But the Lord put a spirit of deep sleep on them. Why? Because He wanted Yahweh Shai to go through that by himself, so to speak. Even though the Lord was still with him in spirit, but he had to experience that by himself. So he had to drink that cup by himself. So it's the same things. Certain things, you're going to have your own Garden of Gethsemane moment. You're going to be tried. And you're going to need to rely on that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the Yahweh Shem Shai has given you, and that personal relationship you have with the Lord. Let me see. Let me get this real quick. This is Psalms 81, starting at verse I'll start at verse 5. Psalms 81:5. This He ordained in Joseph for a testimony, when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not. I removed his shoulder from the burden. His hands were delivered from the pots. Thou calledst in trouble, and I delivered thee. And I answered thee in the secret place of thunder. I proved thee at the waters of Meribah, Selah. Hear, O my people, and I will testify unto thee, O Israel, if thou wilt hearken unto me. There shall no strange God be in thee, neither shalt thou worship any strange God. I am the Lord Yahweh, thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. You see, so the Lord is saying, look, I'm the one who's going to provide for you, man. You want something? Ask me. Okay? You're supposed to seek Yahweh Shem Shai first, man. Before you go and try to help and try to seek help from a brother, or seek help from Esau or your own flesh or anything of that matter, you ask Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai first, man. That's who we put our confidence in. That's who we put our trust in. Scripture says it's better to put your trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes, roughly paraphrase. And now, then after you go seek help from a brother, or you might use this world seek something from Esau, so to speak, whatever it may be, as long as it ain't necessarily going off, But the point being, man, you want to be able to have that relationship with Yahweh Shemel Shai personally, where you could go to the Lord first, man, because a brother might not always be there, man. Okay, and that's what the Lord is doing. He's grooming us to lean upon him. Let's keep reading, and I'll get that next precept, Lord willing. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. I should soon have subdued their enemies, and turned mine hand against their adversaries. You see? So the Lord is saying, look, he would have subdued our enemies, he would have filled our mouths, but we wouldn't hearken unto him as a nation. But now the Lord's putting the spirit on his elect to hearken back to him, and you're going to see the reward for that upon the elect primarily. All right, and then the rest of Israel when they come back, in the reincarnation. Now it says, the haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves unto him, but their time should have endured forever. He should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat, and with the honey out of the rock should I have satisfied thee. That's right. So the Lord, he's saying, look, you put your trust in me, I would have exalted you with the best of the best. But now, all right, since we're in captivity and we got to, function in the society, the Lord is slowly but surely chipping away at us, depending on Esau, and building us up more to depend on him. All right, he is our king. That was the problem with Israel, even though it was all set up through the Spirit. But Israel wanted a king to rule over them after the manner of the heathen. They didn't want the Lord to be their king, man. They didn't want the Lord to rule over them. They didn't want to lean upon Yahweh Shemel Shai. They wanted a king in the flesh, like the heathen. And it was all set up through the Spirit, But the point being, Yahweh Shemel Shai is our king. That's whom we call upon. That's who we lean upon. That's who we put our trust in, man. That's whom we seek a covering for and counsel of, man. And everything else is secondary after that. This is Isaiah 10, starting at verse 20. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. Right, and that's what's going to be like in Jacob's trouble. You're not gonna be able to rely on Esau waking up, going to your 9 to 5, getting your paycheck every week or every other week, or however you get paid. All right, that's gonna be a thing of the past, man. The thing that's going to be is relying on Yahweh Shemel Shai. Faith is going to be the currency of these evil times, man. Because in them days where you might be by yourself in Jacob's trouble, brother not right there with you, or whatever, you don't got your weapons, Esau can't help you, can't call 911, who are you going to call in that day, man? If you never built up that personal relationship with Yahweh Shemel Shai, then you're not going to have that confidence in that day to pray to the Lord, man. So we need to constantly work on and improve our relationship, our personal relationship with the Lord. All right, because we all got to give an account for what we've done, for our own bodies. All right. This is Ecclesiastes 12, starting verse 13. It says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh Shemel Shai and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For Yahweh Shemel Shai shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or evil. Right. Or whether it be good or whether it be evil. That's right. So the Lord is going to bring all of our works into judgment. We all must give an account for what we did in these bodies, man. We're all going to have to stand before the throne and the judgment seat. So that you want to make sure that prior to that, you were building up your relationship with the Lord, so that when you stand before the judgment seat and the throne, you have that hope and that confidence that the Lord will pardon you. Because you've been working on that personal relationship with the Lord. It's like kind of like when you work on a job and you got those employees that just come to work, they do their job and they leave. They don't really talk to anybody. They don't try to get to know anyone. They don't try to interact with anyone, but they do their job though. You know what I'm saying? But then you have those employees who do their job, but also, you know, they get the love of the congregation, so to speak, for lack of better words. You know, they're cool, they're peaceable with their manager, they're cool with their coworkers. You know, they built up a friendly rapport with their coworkers and their staff. So the time when they fall short, guess what? Their coworkers, their staff, they're like, you know what? Hey, pardon that man. You know what I'm saying? He shows love. You know, he built up that relationship. So even with the same thing with Yahweh Shema Shai, the scriptures talk about how in the time, let me get it real quick. This is Malachi 3:17. It's Malachi chapter 3, starting at verse 17. It says, "Then they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him." Right. So the Lord is saying he'll spare his servants like his own son that serveth him, man. All right, and it's good to build a relationship with your father. That's the thing. You know, you can't forget, even though we are the Lord's servants, he's also our father, man. You know, we cry out, Abba. All right, that's our father. So you want to build up that relationship with your father, man. The scripture says to honor your father and your mother. You know? So you want to build up that relationship with Yahweh Shema Shai. That personal relationship with the Lord, that intimate relationship with the Lord. And what helps a lot is by fasting, praying, reading, doing lessons, fellowship with brothers. Basically tapping into the spirit, drawing nigh to the spirit. All right? But understanding that you're doing it in the sincerity for Yahweh Shema Shai, and not to be a man pleaser or to be seen of men, but you're doing it out of truth and sincerity, man. And to draw closer to the Lord's spirit and to do that which is pleasing in his sight. This is 2 Corinthians 5, verse 10. It says, "For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Mashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad." You see, so we all got to give account for what we did in our own bodies. Not for what the next brother did in another brother's body. It don't work like that. It's about what you did in your own body, whether it be good or bad. You know? It says, "Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto Yahweh Shema Shai, and our trust also are made manifest in your consciences." That's right. So we want to make sure that we give a good account for what we did within our own spirit. And that also goes back to help building up that personal relationship with the Lord. It's Ephesians 6:6. It says, "Not with eye service as men pleasers, but as the servants of Mashiach, doing the will of the Most High from the heart." That's right. It got to be from the heart. It got to be sincere. Okay? It says, "With good will, doing service as to the Lord and not to men." That's right. You're supposed to do your service as if you're doing it to the Lord, man. When you're amongst the brothers and you serving the brothers, you serve the brothers like you would serve the Lord. Okay? And not to the will of men, not to be carnal or to be seen of men or to get praise of men, but to be seen and to get the honor of Yahweh B'Shema Shai. You know? So I want to get this last one, Lord will. I'll close out with that. It's James 4:8. It says, "Draw nigh to Yahweh B'Shema Shai, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded." That's right. Draw nigh to the Lord. He'll draw nigh to you. Okay? But if you depart from the Lord, if you remove yourself from the Lord, guess what? He's going to depart from you. All right? This is 1 Chronicles 28, starting at verse 9. It says, "And thou, Solomon, my son, know thou the power of thy father, and serve him with a perfect heart and with a willing mind. For the Lord searcheth all hearts and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee." Right? So you got to personally seek the Lord for yourself. You can't just piggyback off of another brother. You know, yes, you can learn from other brothers and build from other brothers. But at the end of the day, that brother still got to give an account for what he did. And you're going to have to give an account for what you did. So you just use brothers as motivation. Look at brothers as motivation. Man, that brother, he in the spirit. You know, he diligent, he on fire. All right, let me learn from that brother. Let me apply that to my own walk. You know? Because the Lord ain't going to be like, "Oh, well, you know, since you was cheerleading that other brother, then, you know what I'm saying, you all right. Nah, you got to build up your own personal relationship with Yahweh Shem Shai. You have to make an atonement for your own personal sins too. That's another thing about building up a personal relationship with Yahweh Shem Shai. Acknowledging your own personal offenses. Because you might have went off where another brother didn't commit that same, offense as you, man. So that got to be acknowledged. That has to be acknowledged, man. That's also part of building. That's a key point. The Wadi Abashim Shai, I almost forgot to mention that. That's another key point about building up your own personal relationship with the Lord. Acknowledging your own personal offenses that you've done against Yahweh Abashim Shai. And like it says, if thou seek him, he will be found of thee. But if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever. Right. So for those who seek the Lord, in truth and sincerity and in righteousness, that he will be found of them, man. But for those who forbear, guess what? He's not going to draw nigh to your spirit. Let me see if I get this one. The 2 Ezra 8:47, it says, for thou comest far short that thou shouldst be able to love my creature more than I. That's right. The Lord loves us, man. Greater than anybody can ever love us, man. Okay? But it says, but I have oft times drawn nigh unto thee and unto it, but never to the unrighteous. That's right. So the Lord is saying, look, he draws nigh unto the creature, all right, but he's far from the unrighteous, man. He never draws nigh unto the unrighteous, man. And a part of the unrighteous, they don't acknowledge their wickedness. All right, they're committing a wickedness, but they also don't acknowledge it, and that's a double offense. This is Proverbs 15:29. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. That's right. The Lord is far from the wicked, man. But if you're coming in truth and sincerity, you're trying to come bare before the Lord, all right, and you're coming in honesty, and you're coming in a broken and contrite spirit, and you're showing the Lord you're intimately trying to draw nigh to him, he will be found of you, man. You will catch that spirit, if you're of the elect, of course. But that's hey, man, that's the point. You know what I'm saying? This type of lesson can go on many different ways, but for the sake of time, and you don't want to beat a dead horse, at the end of the day, just to give it a brief summary, you want to make sure you're building your own personal relationship with Yahweh Shem Shai, man, because at the end of the day, you have to give an account for what you've done. Okay? We're all going to have our own Garden of Gethsemane moment, where Yahweh Shai had to go in the garden by himself. You might have a moment like that too, where you get tried like that. Imagine when the chip comes out, all right, the charagma, the Revelation 13:16. Imagine when that comes out, and it's trying the whole world, and Esau presents it in front of you, and you say, and you have to give that account whether you say yes or no, man. We're all going to be tried personally and as a unit. All right, but for the time being, continue building up your own personal relationship with Yahweh Shem Shai, and continuing building up a good relationship with the body, because the scriptures also say, you're supposed to love the Lord and love your neighbor. All right, and it all starts with being honest with ourselves and acknowledging our strengths and our weaknesses when it comes to serving the Lord, and that's going to help you be a better servant and draw nigh and closer to Yahweh Shem Shai's spirit, man. Because you're not going to always be around a brother, man. A brother's not going to always be there to help you out. All right? And it's not that a brother don't want to help you, but the Lord might have a setup where the brother doesn't help you. Because the Lord wants you to go through it by yourself. The Lord wants you to look to him for help, not to another brother. Okay, there's nothing wrong with seeking help from a brother, but but the problem is if you're putting that brother before the Lord. That's when it becomes a problem. Okay? It's Revelation 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Right. Esau is going to try, the Lord's going to put the spirit on this devil to try everybody, man. He causeth all, man. All. Okay, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Verse 11 says, behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. That's right, you can't wear another crown for another brother. You got to wear your own crown. You got to fight the good fight for your own crown. You see? So that also goes into building that personal relationship with the Lord, man. You know, because we're all going to have our own Garden of Gethsemane moment. And technically, we have them things damn near every day. But we're going to have that true trial. All right. And when we go through that true trial, we're gonna need the Lord's help in that day. We need the Lord's help every day, but we're going to especially need it in that day. And if you ain't building up that good rapport with wisdom, with the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, then what do you expect, man? This is Sirach, Ecclesiastes 6, starting at verse 18. It says, "My son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom to thy old age." You see? So gather instruction from thy youth up. So now is the time to be gathering up the instruction of Yahweh Shema Shai. So, hey, we keep growing in this thing, man. So we can have wisdom till our old age. You know? Keep building up in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. Keep building up in the Lord. All right? You know, Lord willing, this video was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, Ba'Shem Chakodash. Double honors to those and apostles, great millstone, and well, peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. All right, and actually, I want this last precept. Lord willing. 2 Ezra 16-27, it says, "So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks." A lot of these places are going to be ghost towns in Jacob's trouble, man. You don't know if you're going to be caught out there by yourself without a brother or whoever, man. All right, obviously the Lord going to be with us, so we're not going to be alone by technicality. But like I said, going back to building up that personal relationship with Yahweh Shema Shai, when you know that you could call on the Lord in that day, and you don't have to, seek help from anybody else. All right, and there's nothing, and I'll say it again, nothing wrong with receiving help from a brother, okay? But you want to make sure that you're not looking to a brother first before you go ask the Lord, or anybody for that matter. All right. So, hey, Lord willing, this video was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, Ba'Shem Chakodash. Double honors to those apostles, great millstone, that were well, peace and blessing to the elect of Israel, Shalom, and above all, Kwame Sharala.